Um, and let's just start by taking a moment on our mat. And we'll just, so maybe adding a blanket underneath the hips, just to soften the seat, to soften at the start of your practice. And as you come to that seat, just, take a second just to move sort of left and right, finding that sort of sweet spot, maybe even front to back. Just finding your center this morning, if you will. And then when you feel ready, let the eyes close, let the shoulders soften, let the arms relax right on top of the legs. And then just let the body start to melt down into the earth. So notice that connection. Notice that physical connection of the body to whatever's underneath you, the blanket, the mat, the earth. Notice the other parts of the body that are contacting the earth as well. So maybe the feet and ankles, the legs. Just starting to actively notice what's happening in your body this morning. And then switching that to the breath. So now noticing what's going on with the breath and just feeling it move in and out of the body. Feeling each inhale, each exhale. And just let yourself settle in here. Let the mind begin to settle and soften. And I'm just inviting you to practice the idea of ahimsa as we move through our practice today. So if you were in class with me last week, we spoke about that a bit, and it just means non-harming. And so as we take it into our practice today, allowing ourselves a bit of kindness to our own bodies, to our own physical needs, letting ourselves honor those. So if you have sort of impingements in anywhere, in any spots of the body, just making sure you honor those. And I like to say I'm just offering suggestions. So feel free to take those suggestions or not take those suggestions as we move through our practice today. And then go ahead and draw your hands together at your heart. Give the head a little bow, just honoring your practice and those that brought this special practice to us. And then together, let's just full breath in through the nose And then just a gentle sigh out through the mouth. Lift the gaze. Open the eyes if they're not already. And then on your next inhale, let's just sweep the arms high. Reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Give yourself a nice big stretch, and then reach that right hand up a little more. And then the left a little more. And just finding this nice little alternating stretch between the left and the right sides, waking the body up. Keeping both hips rooted as you stretch the arms high. Go ahead and take one more to each side. And then take all 10 fingertips, reaching them up towards the sky. And then let's float them down as you just circle the wrists. Releasing the hands when you feel ready. So today's flow is going to be a hands-free flow. I've had some shoulder impingement recently, and so I'm trying not to bear too much weight on it. So for those of you that maybe have some wrist issues or some shoulder issues or even neck issues, because sometimes bearing weight on the hands can add to that, this would be a really great practice for you, okay? So keeping that in mind, let's just move into a seated cat-cow. So if you'd like to switch the crossing of your legs just to change it up, by all means, go ahead and do that. And then take the hands to the fronts of the knees. And then just start to pull the chest forward. And just lift the chin a bit. Inhale. And then on your exhale, we're gonna press yourself back, rounding into the upper back. Chin comes to the chest. So that same cat-cow motion, we're just sitting down to do it. Inhale, bring the chest forward. And then exhale, bring it back. Inhale forward, pull the chest forward, gaze up, and then exhale to round. Really draw the shoulders forward, chin comes to chest. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. All right, go ahead and bring your inhale. Inhale brings you to a neutral spine. Once again, lifting the head. And then let's just make our way onto hands and knees coming into child's pose for a brief moment here. So you're welcome to keep the blanket handy and maybe put that under the knees for a little extra cushion. If you choose to remove that, that's cool too. Bring the toes together, knees come nice and wide, set the hips back, and then just walk the hands forward. So let this be an easy child's pose, at least for the first few breaths, so the elbows can make contact with the mat, or maybe even stack the hands and just take the forehead on top. And this will just give the hips a little bit of time to sort of settle in here to our practice. My light is acting funny, so I'm trying to see what's going on with it. It's doing this like blinky thingy that's not conducive to anything. All right, I think we're good. All right, beautiful. So as you're in this restful pose, and by all means, if child's pose is not restful, come onto your back. You know, maybe take the knees into the chest on your back. That's just sort of flipping that child's pose upside down. That's always a really great alternative. And just know that that's available to you. Even if the teacher doesn't offer it, it's okay. It's your practice. I always like to try and encourage people to, if they know something that's better for their body, practice that ahimsa, practice that self-love, that self-kindness. Give yourself that pose that feels better for your body. All right, so taking this child's pose into a more active state, keeping the forehead on the mat, go ahead and extend the arms nice and long, really reaching through the fingertips, almost like you're trying to
claw the mat a bit here. And then lift the elbows. And then actively press the hips back towards the heels. So finding full breaths here, breathing into the belly, letting the belly expand, the ribs, the waistline, all of it expands. And then as you exhale, press the fingertips down, hips down. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the back. Imagine that the torso is just puffing up with air, and then exhale, press down. One more time, inhale, fill up, and then exhale, press down. All right, go ahead and walk the hands back towards the knees, gently roll the body up, and then come on to the knees, hands come onto the hips here. Again, if you feel like you need to add a blanket under the knees, by all means, go ahead and add that at any point during our practice this morning. All right, so hands on the hips, we're gonna take the right foot, step it forward, coming into a lunge. So just let the hips go where they feel best. Draw the belly in just a bit, so we're not like activating the core, we're just letting the tailbone drop here. And maybe start to shift the hips forward, root into the right heel. And then on your inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms high. Take a moment here. We're gonna start adding our movement right away. Inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna sweep the arms back as you shift the hips back. Bow over the leg. All right, inhale, we're gonna shift it forward. So just moving between these two shapes. Find your low lunge. Exhale, shift it back. One more time, inhale here. This time as you shift it back, we're gonna curl the back toes under, lift the knees, sweep the arms high. Now we're in a little runner's lunge. Beautiful. On your inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms high once again. This time on your exhale, we're gonna sweep them back and float the back leg coming into a warrior three. It might take a couple of times. That's all good. Kick into both heels. Reach the fingertips back. Take one more breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Set that left foot down next to the right. Soften the knees as you inhale. Sweep all the way up. Reach it up. And then exhale, draw the palms together at your heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, sit the hips nice and low. Come into a chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, just find a gentle twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we're gonna twist to the right once again, this time hooking the left elbow to the outside of that right knee. So try to keep both knees facing forward. And try not to let the hips sort of cock over to one side. So everything is basically in line with the other. Press the palms together, find a little more rotation here. And then take the gaze down at the toes, lift the left heel. We're gonna step that left foot back, so take it nice and slow. If you need to take a couple of steps, it's all good. Coming into a revolved lunge. Pause here, press the palms together, find a little more rotation. Maybe take the gaze over the right shoulder if it's available. On your next inhale, we're gonna start to unwind. Take the arms high. We're in a high lunge. There we go. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the back heel, open the hips, take the arms wide, warrior two. Breathe. Take a moment in that warrior two. Maybe even straightening the knee and then bending the knee. Just sort of getting into this pose. Sometimes when we first enter the pose, it feels like you're stuck. So I like to take a little movement just to get into it. Reach the fingertips wide. And let's reverse it. Left hand down, right palm up. Take an inhale, sweep the right arm over the head. Let the breath move freely in and out of the nose. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, make your way back into your warrior two. Let's pick up that back heel, make our way back into your high lunge, arms reach high. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna sweep the arms back, gently lower that knee to the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, just reversing it to where we began. Hands to the hips on your exhale. Right foot steps back, coming back to both knees. There we go. So no hands are involved here, so no weight bearing. All right, let's do the other side. All right, left foot's gonna step forward. Make your way into your lunge on this side. So again, the belly draws in just a bit. Again, we're not necessarily activating the muscles here. Sorry about that. Need to charge my phone. All right, and then when you feel ready, go ahead and let the hips shift forward slightly, coming a little deeper into that lunge. On your inhale, sweep the arms high. Settle in here for a breath. Breathe in and out. Inhale, reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, sweep the arms back, shift the hips back. Just a little hinge from the hips here to fold over that front leg. Inhale, low lunge, sweep the arms high. Exhale, shift it back. One more time, inhale, reach high. Here's that change. Exhale, we're gonna curl the back toes under, lift the knee as you sweep the arms back. So coming up to a higher lunge here. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up for high lunge. And then on your exhale, we're gonna sweep it again, shift forward, float the back leg, warrior three. Reach the chest forward as the fingers reach back, kick into both heels. Beautiful, inhale. Exhale, set that right foot down next to the left. Inhale, take it all the way up, reach high. And then exhale, palms draw together at your heart space. Inhale here. Exhale, knees bend, hips back, chair pose. So really we start to press the hips back. We want to make sure that we're not sort of getting into the knees here. So let the glutes take a lot of the work here. Inhale. Exhale, just gentle twist over to the left shoulder to start, just to sort of get into that twist. Take a second, maybe look down at the toes, at the knees. Make sure that they're all sort of tracking towards the top of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist again, this time hooking the right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Same thing, check those knees. Press into the hands, rotate over the shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out, take the gaze down towards the toes and just lift that right heel. So take a second, draw the belly in just to help with that step back. And then when you're ready, we'll step that right foot back into a lunge. There we go. Keep pressing the palms together. Come into that rotation. Maybe even taking the gaze over the left shoulder if that's available. Take one more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, start to unwind, take the arms high for that high lunge. And then exhale, drop the back heel, take the arms wide, come into your warrior two. And then again, if you want to just take a minute, give the legs some respite, just sort of bending and straightening the knee, allowing yourself to settle into that warrior two as you feel ready. And then just take a few breaths here. Stretch the arms wide. Reach the fingertips away from the body. One more round of breath. And out. Reversing it, take the right hand down, left palm up. Inhale, left arm over the ear. Give yourself a nice big stretch. So notice that nothing in the low body has changed. Only the upper body has done a little shift here. All right? Inhale, go ahead and make your way back into your warrior two. Pick up the back heel. Arms reach high for your high lunge. We're making our way back down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms back and lower the back knee down. There we go. Inhale, reach the arms high. We're in our low lunge. Exhale, hands to the hips. Take that left foot, drag it back. And then set the hips to the heels. Let the arms extend long. Find your child's pose.
And then just let yourself breathe here for a few moments. Let this be a place of rest. And if it doesn't feel restful, change your shape. If it feels more restful to just be upright,
You're welcome to come all the way up onto the knees if that feels better. Or the bum, and just let yourself breathe here for a few more moments. Let yourself soften. And if you're in child's pose, go ahead and walk the hands back towards the knees. And just press yourself up onto the knees. And let's go onto the knees once again. Tuck the toes under this time. Okay. And now we're going to draw the belly in. All right. Again, we're not activating the core. We're just taking these little ribs, pretending that they're sort of flared out, and then drawing them back in towards the body here. All right. Hands come behind you like you're placing them in some imaginary pockets. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then draw them down the back, opening the chest, and then start to draw the elbows in towards one another. Coming into a version of camel here. So taking the nose, drawing a line up towards the ceiling or the sky. Just lifting the gaze, slight lift of the chin. Just finding a back bend without the weight bearing on the hands. Take one more breath in. And a breath out. Go ahead and release. And then just shift the legs around. Go ahead and come on to the bum. Both legs stretch long. If you'd like to add a blanket under the bum, always an option. Flex the toes here. Sitting up nice and tall. And then just let the hands rest alongside the hips. We're not going to put any weight on them here. Just roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then down the back. Taking the chest nice and open. Maybe close the eyes. And just settling into a staff pose for a moment. This is a really great pose to sort of correct any posture issues that sometimes come up. So keep flexing the feet, keeping the chest open. One more breath in. And then a breath out. Just let your body soften a bit. And let's just take the feet, drawing them together with the knees wide, coming into a Baddha Konasana or our cobbler's pose. And this time we'll come into that forward fold shape because it'll feel good after all of that. Sitting up nice and tall. So breath in here. On your breath out, just allow the back to round this time. Round over the legs. Let the feet start to open a bit. You can walk the hands out as much as your body would like. And then just let the head sort of drape here. And again, coming back to the breath. So we had a lot of movement at the beginning of our class. So let this be a place of stillness, a place of quiet. And the mind may not be quiet, but that's okay. If the mind is sort of chattering away, bring your thoughts to your breath and see if you can let them rest on the inhales and the exhales. One more breath in and out. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Gently draw the legs back in towards one another. And then we'll just roll down on the back, keeping the knees bent. Just let yourself be here for a moment. We haven't really been in this shape on this sort of relationship to gravity yet for this class. So soak it in for a moment. And then just gather the knees into the chest. Maybe rock from side to side. And then the next time you rock over to the right, just let them fall all the way to the earth. And then you can just release the hands. Take the left arm wide, right hand can come on top of the left leg. And then maybe just gaze over the left shoulder, coming into a final twist. Gather the knees back at center. Again, taking a moment just to rock a few times from side to side. And then the next time they rock to the left, just let them gently come all the way to the mat. Right arm stretches wide. And the left hand comes on top of that right leg. You can gaze over the right shoulder if that feels okay. Gather everything back at center one last time. This time maybe taking some circles, moving the knees in one direction, 2 or 3 times. And
switching, sort of evening everything out, giving the body some love, a little massage here for the low back. And then when you feel ready, just taking the feet to the earth as wide as your mat, letting the knees fall in towards one another, and settling in here. Letting the hands just rest on the belly. And this gesture of sending yourself love, sending yourself kindness. Reminding yourself that it's okay to honor what you need, what your body needs, what your mental health needs, even if that might look different than, say, your normal. But even within the practice of yoga, if you're accustomed to practicing in a certain way, that there's other ways to practice yoga. Finding other ways to move your body. Or coming into some breath work or meditation, that's all yoga. Or whatever it is within your life. And then slowly deepen your breath. Invite some movements into the fingertips, the toes. Maybe take the legs long and the arms over the head for a nice big stretch. And then as you feel ready, making your way back into a comfortable seat.
Meeting with our palms together right at our heart space. Maybe closing the eyes, and then we can all just bow the head once again together. Thanking your body for all it does for you. And then just taking the hands one on top of the other and just placing them right at your heart. Taking an opportunity to tell yourself something good about you. Give yourself a compliment. Say something positive. And let that positivity, that compliment just soak in. And then together, let's breathe in through the nose. Sigh out some kindness out into the world. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning, or whenever it is that you decide to practice. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, my friends. Namaste.